Welcome to Special Stage. Question, what do you get when you take some of the world's top rally cars and rally drivers out of their comfort zone and put them on a racetrack in Wiltshire? You get this. This is the 15th running of Rallyday here at Castle Combe. Tens of thousands of rally fans turn out to get as close as you can possibly get to the action. There's a rally stage here, there's a racetrack with stage sessions on, there's a grid walk that you can see behind me with everything from 60s rally cars through the Group B era to brand new top-level world rally cars, including the stars from rallying, all here in Wiltshire. The sun is shining. We've got so many features to pack into the show for you. You're watching Special Stage. It's great to have you here. Rallyday is a show for all ages. And of course, motorsport is also a sport and a career for all ages as well. Colin McRae 20 years ago won the World Rally Championship. He was very young when he got into rallying, wasn't he, Andrew?
He was. I remember seeing him on the Bournemouth-based rally in his Nova. It's the first time I saw him and I thought, this young kid is quick. I wonder how he'll go.
Yeah, you should have put some money on that one. This is Andrew from Go Motorsport. He's going to talk to us very quickly about getting into motorsport, because we've got people as young as 14 on this stand, haven't we?
We have. It often amazes youngsters that although they've got to wait till 17 to drive on the road, they can take part in motorsport from 14. So we stood on the Go Motorsport stand at Rallyday. There's a lovely junior autocross Seat Rosa in front of us. Absolutely ideal. The relatively lower powered cars, but it gets the youngsters started. So autocross they can do from 14, production car auto test they can do from 14. There's so many opportunities to get involved. And
also junior rallying, of course, we cover the junior series on Special Stage. And Go Motorsport covers a whole gambit of motorsport, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Go Motorsport's the initiative from the MSA to get more people involved in the sport, whether it's competitors, organisers, marshals, just really making sure people understand how they can get involved. And as you've seen on this stand, trying to do it with some of the lower cost cars, as well as the glorious Group B and WRC machinery that's here today.
And of course, a lot of youngsters would love to think they can make it into a career. I was out in a competition car before I was old enough to drive on the road. I haven't made a career out of driving, but perhaps from the other side of the microphone. But there are a whole host of different ways of getting into motorsport, not just competing, aren't there?
There are. There's about 750 motor clubs in the UK, and I'd always encourage people to go to their local motor club, find one that's a really good fit for them, because there's so much knowledge and experience there, and advice. People have been down that path before and can show people what to do. If there's one thing I could bottle and that would make motorsport more popular, it's that buzz, it's that atmosphere, it's the banter, it's the mickey taking of a motor club. But underneath it, if someone's got a problem, who bails in to help out? All the other members, all the fellow competitors in the event. It's fantastic.
You might not need to bottle it because motorsport is so accessible and those motor clubs are there in your local area competing and giving you opportunities. So get out there. If you take one thing away from this Special Stage show at Rallyday, get involved in motorsport in some way. Thank you, Andrew.
Pleasure.
We talk about the variety of cars here at Rallyday, but look at this. We've got a Renault Gordini following a Subaru S12 World Rally car off the start line to feature on the stage that's been set up on the racetrack here at Castle Combe. And the fans are so close. They're lining the barriers down here next to the start. These cars make so much noise. Listen to that. Well, man whose career stretches from minis right the way through to this JRM Subaru, Terry Cabey, welcome to Rallyday and to Special Stage.
Thank you very much. Yeah, you're right. Started with a Mini many years ago. I think the first big event I did was RAC, Lombard RAC Rally of 1974, and then here we are today with a much more modern car, the old Subaru. So yeah, it's been quite a span of both rallies and cars during my career.
What got you into, we know what the car it was, but what got you into rallying?
I think I've got three brothers. One of them was really into motorbike racing originally and then car racing. Although he didn't complete so much himself, he got the enthusiasm there for me. And then it was just in the old days when you would pick up the magazines and see star drivers like Bjorn Waldegaard and Hannu Mikla and those sort of people. And I just started really to do it as a bit of fun. I never really intended to get anywhere at all. Didn't expect to ever really get any good results and things like that. But I just enjoyed driving in the beginning, and we did more and more rallies and the results came, and I was quite fortunate. We won a few small championships, and then you could approach people for a bit of money for sponsorship, and some of the manufacturers in a lower form would help us and really sort of climb the ladder in that way.
They were the days, magazines like Autosport, Rally Sport and Car and Car Conversions, no doubt.
Yeah, the main one was a paperback, which was in those days called Motoring News. I think it's called Motorsport News.
Certainly is, and it's still the main one.
That's right. But I mean, that was a weekly magazine. It used to cover everything from Formula One racing, sports car racing, which was a big thing in those days, and all of the rallies from World Championship down to very small club rallies, and which it still does today. And so you would see all of the events, the results, and anybody that was in there, and myself later on get a bit of publicity from that. So it was a fantastic magazine from covering all those sort of aspects of it.
Still is. Now, your experience is being put to good use at the moment, isn't it? Testing and helping to develop cars.
Yes, in a way, because I have been involved with particularly what is now this class, R4 class, Group N in the past. So I've got quite a bit of experience of the older models of Group N. And so Steve Smith at JRM got me on board to sort of assist a little bit with testing and various bits and pieces with the car. So I quite enjoy working with the team. It's a good team. Some of the engineers and the mechanics I've known for a long time. So yeah, it fits in quite well.
And tell us about the car.
Well, as you know, Group N, in theory, it should be a standard showroom class car, but as you know, they're started completely stripped down to a bare body shell, and they're built up from there. Full roll cage. It finishes up as a full competition car. So although it's supposed to be a showroom class car to make it cheaper than like World Rally cars and things like that, which it is, it's still built from ground level up. So most of the components are special. We've got something like 280 horsepower from this, but something like 560 Newton meters of torque at, I think it's about 3,000 RPM, so it's a very torquey engine. It's a very drivable car. This particular chassis is built very neutral handling. So really, a person with hardly any experience whatsoever could drive this car quite quickly, and also it's still a very good car for somebody at the top level of that particular class. So it covers a vast experience of abilities in terms of driving style as well. And it's a relatively cheap car to actually run. It doesn't need the engine rebuilding every event and things like that. It will do 4 or 5 events before anything major will need doing to it. And then generally it's just a check and strip, or a strip and check over. And so the main point about the car is it's relatively cheap compared with a lot of cars to run.
Stay with us after the break here at Special Stage from Rallyday. We'll talk to a star at the Ford M Sport World Rally Team Camp. Not this guy though. Elvin, of course, in the year that we have this big Colin McRae tribute here at Rallyday, the talk is of our British, Welsh, Irish, Scottish rally stars, and you're one of them. How does it feel to be part of that very elite group of rally drivers?
No, I mean, Rallyday is always a fantastic day. To be honest, I don't think about the other stuff so much. I'm here to enjoy the day. We've got a nice car here as well to drive around this afternoon, so it's great to be here.
Now, what's your plan for today? You're obviously meeting fans. Are you just on a bit of a wind down before the next rally?
Yeah, I mean, there's not much chance to wind down, to be honest. It's been fairly full on, and we're off to Corsica first thing Monday morning to start testing for the next round. So, yeah, there's not a lot of time off, but it's nice to be here, and it's always a really enjoyable event.
Considering the pressure that must be on your shoulders in that world rally scene, okay, and the fans expecting big things, the team expecting big things, you seem so calm, so relaxed and so at ease with the situation and with your environment when you're out there and when you watch you on TV and when you're driving. Do you feel the pressure?
Yeah, of course. I think everybody feels the pressure at that level, but at the end of the day, there's nothing being a nervous wreck will change. There's nothing to achieve by that. So you have to take everything in your stride and just concentrate on doing everything right. I think if you've done all your preparation and you do everything to the best of your ability, there's no more somebody can do. So so long as you're 100% relaxed with the fact that you've done everything to all your ability, then there's no need to be worried.
You're still quite early into this campaign of yours. We spoke to you before the start of it and you said consistency would have been the key to it because, they needed finishes. M Sport wanted to get the cars to the finish and that was the first thing. You're doing that. You've got the consistency, you've got the finish, you're a solid driver out there. The pace is adding now, isn't it?
Yeah, the pace is obviously coming. It's not been the most consistent season in the second half now. We've had a lot of ups and downs for sure. But we're getting our finger on a few things with the new car as well, which is looking more promising for the future.
Now tell us about the new car because it's been a VW dominated sport the last few years. Before that, Citroën, a Ford coming back.
Yeah, I mean we certainly hope so. It's very difficult with the amount of money that the Volkswagen are spending. The budget and the resources they have is massive. M Sport, have done a fantastic job without full manufacturer support, whilst we're still linked very closely to Ford. It's not a full manufacturer entry, and to compete with a large manufacturer such as Volkswagen is challenging for sure.
Well, you're certainly doing it out there, and the fans are loving to see you out there, as are we. Have a good day here at Rallyday.
I'm sure to. Cheers, thank you.
If you follow European rallying, you may have seen the success of the Opel Adam R2 on the European rally stages. It has been trouncing the competition. And today at Rallyday, here on the Ravenel stand, is the debut of the Vauxhall Adam R2, the UK version, which you could see on stages very soon. But right now, you'll see it on a special stage because I'm going to go out with Simon Major, our newly crowned 2015 Asphalt Rally champion, who you'll have seen in that blue and yellow 6R4 on our coverage. He's going to take me out in his Vauxhall Adam R2. Let's see what young drivers progressing through the ranks in British rallying have got to look forward to in this new and exciting R2 car. You have actually done BRC yourself very successfully back in the day. I actually drove one of your cars that you won the KA Challenge in, didn't I, for a few years. So, but, people that watch our asphalt coverage might not realise that you actually started your career in the BRC.
I did. You've obviously got a good memory because that's a long time ago.
And the equivalent of a car like this, the car at the time was with the Puma.
Probably the best rally championship I ever did, and the best days, for my own particular rallying was the involvement with the One Make Championship, with the KA Championship. And it taught me a lot about driving. It is obviously nice to be involved with a manufacturer. And back in them days, like you say, there were a lot of manufacturers involved with One Make series and a lot of manufacturer interest in the BRC. And we're hoping we can sort of try to recreate that, try to get some, more manufacturer interest. It's obviously a huge step to that, with the involvement with Vauxhall here. And, the One Make Championships really do breed good young drivers. That's what it's all about. And that's what we want to do. We want to try to encourage young drivers to get involved with the BRC. I think there's some really positive things going on with the BRC at the moment, with IMS. Ben Taylor's working really hard. The
BRC should be the pinnacle of rallying in the UK, and having spoken to the team, putting it together, Ben Taylor and his team, I have every confidence that it will be again. And projects like this can only help. Thanks, Simon. We'll go out in the car and you can show me what this R2 Adam can do.
Yeah, I'll try if I can learn how to drive one of these things. It's been a long time since I drove a little front-wheel drive car, but
modesty knows no bounds with our new asphalt rally champion. Right, let's go.
Thanks.
first time you've driven the car in anger?
Yeah, it's a good little car, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the first time.
Oh yeah, first time, yeah. It's good, it's a bit
really
soft.
Good car.
Obviously very soft, but for the rally stages, it's going to be phenomenal.
Yeah,
really good, really good.
Given the sort of events that are likely to be in the British Rally Championship, this is going to be well, the ones that are in the Rally Championship, it's going to be quite a formidable car in the R2 class.
Oh, for its class, it's going to be awesome, mate. Seriously. Right, I might need a bit of help reversing back in here.
Well, let me hop out. And
if you don't mind, if you could drop out and just go in front of me and see me back if you don't mind.
Will do.
All right, you're a very good co-driver, Paul, well done.
Thanks, mate. Well, if that is the shape of the British Rally Championship next year, then I think I'm on the wrong side of the microphone somehow, the wrong side of the windscreen. Fantastic experience, and what a great story. Vauxhall back in British rallying and in the hands of our brand new crowned Asphalt Rally champion Simon Major. Of course, our coverage on Special Stage is not just rallying, we also cover off-road racing. So let's have a look at some of that action on the track right now from the AWDC boys. Now here at Rallyday, it's all about people getting to meet rally stars. And Phil Collins is a man who always brings his car out to play here, and you love mingling with the fans, don't you?
I do, and we sell a lot of rides in the car at local charity auctions. We'll raise nearly £2,000 today for charities in Hereford, and it gives people a taste of motorsport who maybe have a passing interest but don't really know much about it. And usually they come here and they're blown away by it all, you know, the history, the buzz, the enthusiasm, and of course a ride in the old 1981 340 horsepower Mark II Escort helps to make the day more interesting as well.
Now, you've made a career out of rallying, of course, in cars like the Sierra, Cosworth, this Ascona, and you have got that fantastic looking Mark II, which was one of the first modern spec Mark IIs, wasn't it, on the scene?
When we rally in Ireland, they call it a modified car, and that's an understatement because it has a 2.5 litre Millington engine, which has just been uprated to about 340 horsepower, 6-speed sequential box, 17 and 18-inch wheels, big brakes, and it's everything that you could possibly want from a front-engine, rear-wheel drive Mark II Escort, which is over 30 years old.
And when you first brought it out, it was those huge arches, the big wheels you'd managed to cram under them, the massive spoilers on it, and people were like, what on earth is that thing running? And it was a new take, and that take has gone on now, and there's quite a lot of modified Escorts out there.
A lot of those cars are in Ireland now, so, you know, whilst it was, ahead of its time, 7 or 8 years ago, 10 years ago, there's, you know, that's de rigueur for an Irish tarmac event nowadays.
Now, I've stood by the side of the stages when I was growing up watching rallying and seen you in your Sierras and various cars. How did you get into rallying, though?
I started off with autograss racing, around the field stuff. Couldn't afford to do rallying, and then after a few years I went to watch an event and thought, the first few guys were extraordinarily quick, and then you think, well, I could actually probably do as good as that. I bought an RS 2000, as most people do, you know, a couple of grand's worth of car, and I went out and I soon finished 4th on an event, and I could see that I could do it. And I loved it. I absolutely loved the whole experience, needless to say. So I worked my way through 1600 BDA Escort, an assortment of 2-litre BDA Escorts. Then the Ascona that I bought off Malcolm Patrick back in 1983. Then I upgraded that to a Manta. Then I got the ride in the Sierra Cosworth with Brooklyn, which was a fantastic era of my life. And then I'd always employed people, were doing a lot of work. And so I hired, I then got the Toyota contract, and I ran that car with David Llewellyn driving it for Toyota. And that took me out of it because Ford stopped me competing because I was preparing the opposition's car. So although I had a verbal agreement that I could carry on, in fact, Stuart Turner, bless him, changed his mind when he saw the heading in Autosport that said Llewellyn and Collins for Toyota.
Yeah, I can imagine that didn't go down too well.
Didn't go down
Was
as well.
the highlight of your career had to be, of course, getting Corgi, making that tiny little model. You know, you had a little model, didn't you?
There were a number of models made, and that's sitting on a lot of people's shelves, and allows people to think and remember the thing. But when you talk about highlights, actually, every rally is a highlight except the last one, the West Cork. On the second stage, I had a puncture on the right front, hit some water with the left front, quite a high-speed place, and sailed off the road, smashed a telegraph pole, smashed the car, did a lot of damage, and today is the first day back out. And she's just playing up a bit, but it's only a teething problem, which we will sort out. And then I'll do Cork 20 in a fortnight.
Ari Vatanen just leaving the feature stage here. You just saw him in action out there in his X-Works car of his, the Allied Polymer Escort, an iconic sight, and we're reliving it here on Special Stage at Rallyday. More action to come after the break here at Special Stage, from the feature stage, from the rally stage, and from the stars of the rally world. Rallyday is the UK's premier rally car show, but it's not just rallying. There's something for everyone. Live interviews with the stars, passenger rides in rally cars, and experts on hand to advise on rally car preparation and personal safety equipment in motorsport. In fact, the only thing the fans have to complain about at Rallyday is having to leave at the end of the day. Inessa, fantastic to have you on Special Stage and here at Rallyday. Now you're flying the flag for ladies in motorsport in the European Rally Championship in that Mitsubishi. How's that going?
It can be better because I have to crash this year, and at first I want to start that I'm so happy to come to England for this rally day and meet a lot of people, a lot of fans and followers, and I never compete in Great Britain. I just compete in Ireland, and it was a very difficult goal for me because it's very far from my city, from my country, and from my team location. Because I live in one place, I live in Russia, in Moscow. My team located in Estonia, one piece of team. The second piece of team located in Latvia, and we are build all my relationship and get Ireland. After that, I watch how it's going here in Great Britain, in Ireland, the motorsport, and I fall in love. And after that, I little bit dream to move to England and participate here and maybe live here because here is very high level of motorsport. And this is my main passion. This is my life. I can't live without rallying, without racing, and maybe for future we can meet more early.
Yeah, it's the same for us. We are rally fans making TV for rally fans as well. How did you get into rallying? How did you start?
It was very strange because we sit in the restaurant with my friend. She's a girl from Ukraine, and we meet one person who organized first rally in Ukraine for amateur, like in standard car. And they say, I just get my driving license, and I have experience maybe 2 months of driving. No, I'm not so professional that. And he said, wow, girls, maybe you want to try to rallying, maybe this is amateur, nothing special, let's try. We said, no, we can't driving. He said, no problem, girls, I will teach you. We think 1 minute maybe, because I dream about rally from my childhood. When we get first computer, this play the game rally. I play every day, only this. I dream about rally. I watch TV and like this, and we say, okay, we will go for training. We start training 2 weeks, and we start this amateur rally and get third place in our class. Is our standard car, and I continue. I get sick. I get sick rally, very serious, And next year I buy Subaru. I see here in England very high level of Subaru lovers because of the big history of ProDrive, of Colin McRae, and our Subaru. It's like a cult. And of course, my first car was Subaru, and after I quit driving, I was navigating in Subaru again, and it was GT, like very good historic cars now. My first rally car and group car was also Subaru. And I continue with four-wheel drive in European, not in European, Ukrainian rally championship. And I try to do the best. I want to grow up, and this case I moved to Europe. I moved to European Rally Championship because there is participating the most strong drivers, and you can follow the time table that and push yourself and watching what you can do the best, and follow the factory driver, follow the like junior drivers. This is the best of the best. No, of course, my dream get WRC series, but it's much difficult and little bit much expensive.
I'm joined by Russell Brooks here at Rallyday, a man that needs no introduction and of course was featured on our programmes from Rallyday before. Russell, it's fantastic as always to see you out here. What are you going to be driving today?
Well, we've got two cars here, the Opel Manta 400, which I used in the 1985 British Championship and won the championship with. A very original car, absolutely great fun to drive, great to be reunited with it. And the other one is John Lee's Sunbeam Lotus, which is the car I drove on the 1981 RAC rally. So two totally original cars, and it's great to be reunited with them.
Some real history there for you. And talking of history, how did you get into rallying?
Oh dear me, it's a bit of a long story, but I was always interested in motorsport and joined a local car club. And I went down to one of the club meetings, and the guy there said, "You're a new member, aren't you?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, I'm doing sprints and hill climbs in a Mini." He said, "Have you ever thought about doing rallying?" He said, "It's great fun." He said, "You hammer down the country lanes in the middle of the night." He said, "It's very exciting." I said, "All right, we'll give it a whirl." He said, "Great." He said, "We'll use your car, I'll navigate." And unfortunately, my father, it was that very bad winter of 1963, my father crashed my car. He borrowed it for the day. And he said, "This rallying's pretty simple stuff, isn't it?" I said, "Yeah, I think you just go around and collect clues and something like a treasure hunt." And he said, "Well, take my Austin Westminster." So we did this rally in this Austin Westminster, and at the halfway halt we were lying 5th overall. I think it went to my head because I rolled it into a ball. And he sold my car to pay for the damage to his because the insurance company wouldn't cover. But from that moment on, I was hooked on rallying.
Now, we've mentioned the BRC already in our Rallyday programme. It should be the pinnacle of UK motorsport. It will be. And the man making that happen is Ben Taylor. Ben, exciting times.
Yeah, really exciting. The enthusiasm, the optimism and the anticipation, I think, for what's coming back next year is palpable. All the drivers, all the teams. I know it's only September, but really there's an enthusiasm and excitement about it that is really great. And whoever turns up in March remains to be seen, but certainly right now it's better to have people talking good stuff about you than not quite sure. So yeah, BRC's starting to break cover, it's starting to fall into place now, and everybody's really starting to get excited about what's coming.
And the good thing for me as well, I was talking to Ari Vatanen and he mentions the BRC back in what he calls the heyday. You've got Russell Brooks here, he competed back in the day. You've got people like Simon Major who competed in more recent times in the F2 era. And I've got this feeling that we're heading towards another heyday in UK rallying.
Yeah, I think that the number of people that have been involved in it, when you look back at those greats that have come through the British Rally Championship, that's why it's so important that we've got to get it back to being that exciting, internationally renowned championship, because it's got such a pedigree, it's got such a heritage, and we really owe it to the sport, not to the British Rally Championship, we owe it to British rallying, that our Premier Championship is right up there, and that people are looking in on it, both in this country and internationally, and saying, do you know what, that's really one of the best championships in the world, and I'm really optimistic that's where we're going to get back to.
And I think that we are one of the best rally countries in the world. You know, the whole of the UK, England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, everybody gets behind rallying around here. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? Bringing that back and making us the pinnacle championship.
Yeah, we get support in this country for rallying that other people can only dream about. We're so blessed that we've got such an amazing array of rally heritage. And you just walk around here, there's something like 10,000 people here at Rallyday. I don't know what the official figures are, but everyone's having a great time. They're all looking at these wonderful cars that tell a story all the way through the eras, through the ages. They've all been driven by international megastars, and people here have still got that fever, and we need to build on that fever. That fever is what's going to bring rallying back again, and I'm really excited about what's going on.
Completely agree, and we've also got to remember that rallying is a huge industry. Motorsport in general employs so many people in the UK. It's made stars out of a few elite people, of course, our motorsport stars, but there are people lower down the food chain who are making a living and making a career out of motorsport, right through different levels.
Yeah, there are, but it's fun. It's got to be, first and foremost, it's got to be fun. It's got to be about the competitors. What we're really trying to do with the BRC next year is we're trying to make sure that the competitors and the teams get what they need to come out and want to play in our championship. We've got to make them enjoy it, because everyone's got so much choice as to where they spend their money or where they spend their time. If they're not going to enjoy what's going on, then they're not going to come and do it. So we need to make sure that we're providing a championship that people really want to do, that they're going to enjoy doing, and that gives them a really good competitive edge.
We're looking forward to seeing what you do. No doubt the competitors, the spectators are as well. It was a quiet confidence. It's turning into a lot of noise online. Good luck.
Thanks very much.
One of the great things about Rallyday is that you walk down the pit lane here before the feature stage and you suddenly notice faces that you recognise from the world of rallying. I've got one of them here. Ocean, you must be excited about the new BRC.
Yeah, great. It's great to have it back. It's been missed a lot, I think, this year. So I think the public and the rally fans and competitors are looking forward to having it back next year.
And I'm also looking forward to seeing you out in this Mark II Escort. It's not really your thing, this.
No, I turned up. I was asked to bring my suit and overalls, and Dave Hollander from Pallet Force said take my place. So yeah, I'm thanking him for this opportunity. It's been a while since I've been in one of these, so yeah, looking forward to it.
I'm always in the wrong place at the wrong time. That never happens to me. So you can do some hooning out there.
Yeah, hooning, but he needs his car in a couple of weeks, so I must not bash it.
Yeah, there's probably a few more reasons why you shouldn't bash it as well. Have fun, enjoy.
Thank you.
Behind me is a car that you will, of course, recognise, Colin McRae's Subaru World Rally car. And a man that you'll recognise, David Higgins, star of Rally America and, of course, star of British Rallying, brother of Mark Higgins, will be driving this car here at Rallyday later in the show. Whether you're a competitor, you're a support crew, if you're involved in rallying, insurance is a big deal to you. Investment in rallying is big, whether you're a clubman or you're on the international scene. I'm joined by Mark Taylor of REIS Insurance, one of the leading UK motorsport insurance companies. Mark, a bit of a grey area, motorsport insurance. People don't know whether they should get covered for the entire loss of the car. Summarise it for us.
Oh, how long have you got?
Hardest job of the day.
Oh, yeah, hang on a minute.
Where do people start?
Personally, people have to start with themselves. I have to say, the very few competitors look at themselves, and I think personal accident insurance is the primary concern, particularly if you've got a responsibility like a family.
Yep.
You've got to think, what happens if I can't bring the bread in at the end of the week? So that's the first thing. The car's obviously important, of course it is. It's the pride and joy. I think the accident damage insurance on the track is a choice whether you feel you can afford to have an accident and walk away from it from a financial point of view. If you feel that the worst case scenario is I lose this car, and actually the worst case is a fire, for an example, and the thing is completely burnt out, and you can't afford to do that, then you need to start to look at insurance. And REIS, we do a whole range of products from fire only, which would insure you for that loss, if that was to happen, right the way down to the full chips and peas sort of accident cover that you require, which would also cover the engine and transmission and everything about it. You know, the products, the nature of our products, they're bespoke. They're built to your needs. You tell us what you want, and we'll try and build the product for you. So you need to know what the client is looking for. You need to understand the environment of which you're operating, and so having that knowledge of motorsport, having the knowledge about vehicles is something we pride ourselves on. Our staff are very good with that personal service, and that's why our customers keep coming back to us.
Rallying is expensive. There's a lot to think about if you're getting into rallying or if you're currently competing, getting the car ready for the next season. Don't forget your insurance. At least have a chat to these guys. It's so important, and that's from a competitor. I'm delighted to be joined by 7 times Rally America champion, 5 times in a row, David Higgins. David, welcome to Special Stage.
Yeah, no, it's great to be here. You know, it's going to be a fun day, and looking forward to getting out in the car a bit later on as well.
Now, you are a Works Subaru driver, and 20 years ago, a certain other Works Subaru driver took the World Rally Championship. He's no longer with us, sadly, but he's still in the hearts and minds of all these rally fans, and I'm sure rally drivers like yourself as well.
Yeah, for sure, and obviously Colin played a big part in us when we were starting. I was good friends with Colin as well, and even worked with him on some events. And there's a really strong connection with Colin as well to our Subaru America team, because his last sort of few bits of driving he was doing was actually involved with Vermont Sports Car and things. So there's a big history with him in our team, and you know, it's certainly it's going to be a special moment when I get to drive one of his cars later on today.
And you're driving that 97 Network QRAC rally winning car as well?
Yeah, it's quite a funny car actually, because in 97 was when I won my first Group N championship driving for Subaru, and the prize was actually to drive a 97 World Rally car. And it was just before GB Rally, and then obviously I was there when Colin was doing his test, and now obviously that's the car I'm going to be driving today. So, you know, really looking forward to that, and you know, I'm sure it'll be quite emotional as well when you're driving it, because it's hard to drive something with that much history and not feel very attached to it.
Especially when you've been so close to the story as well. You must have some fantastic stories of Colin, much more than most of the rally public out there. Have you got anything you can tell us that will really make us smile, something different? So everyone talks about him going flat out, and we've spoken to the people behind building his cars, but what do you know about Colin?
Yeah, no, it's just his whole attitude to life was just, you know, have fun, and, you know, he almost made me drive a car off the end of a pier when we were in Corsica. He'd retired from the rally, and I was given the impossible task of trying to look after him for the night. And you know, we'd been in a restaurant, he'd had a few drinks, and then we're driving back to the hotel, and he just leans over, and he's a strong, powerful guy. He grabs my leg flat on the throttle, and we're heading for the end of the pier, and you know, all he can do is laugh, and I'm trying to stop us like launching this company car off the end of a pier into a harbour. But you know, that was just one of the many things that he got up to. We had a lot of fun on the enduro bikes. We used to, like when he was testing in the air, we would always go out on the motorbikes and things, and you know, nothing was an obstacle to him. You know, a place that was impossible to go to was just a challenge for him. I think that's the way he went about his driving as well. There was never anything going to get in his way, and he was always going to give it the full maximum attack.
Fantastic stories, thank you for those. Now, one of our themes here at Rallyday is how people got into rallying. And given that you're one of our big successful stars in the rally world, tell us how you started in rallying, David.
Yeah, my grandparents rallied to start with from my mother's side. And then my dad was a mechanic. He started fixing my granddad's car. Obviously, then met my mum, and they started doing rallies together. So it was always something in the family. Like I remember, like my first memories as a kid was being in a pram, being pushed around by a cousin, watching my parents compete in rallies and things. So obviously, there was always a desire to do it, but it was a sport that, you know, can take a lot from you as well as give you a lot. And you know, the financial sacrifice that my parents made to compete and things. So when myself and my brother wanted to start competing, they were very, not negative, but they want us to experience it, but at the same time they didn't want us to lose everything to do it. So we set about our driving career slightly different. It was trying to do it in a bit more of a professional way. My brother got lucky that he got a manager to try and help him, and that pretty much saw him right up into being a factory driver. And on that same year when he got offered his first works drive for Vauxhall, he was also offered to do the Peugeot Challenge for a private team, and I was still kart racing at the time at a very high level and doing really good, and you know, didn't have any intentions of moving from being sort of top of one sport to knowing I couldn't afford to do rallying as much as I wanted to rally. But when Mark got his break, I got a chance to go and have a test, and was the fastest driver in the test, and got a free year in the Peugeot Challenge, and got a lot of help from David Williams and Richard Burns as my mentors at the time, and the car was actually being prepared at Richard's house and things, so I had a really good background and people behind me right from the start, and we won the Peugeot Challenge, and the prize was a factory drive the year after, so it was a pretty fast track into rallying, but it's something that I've been involved in all the time, and now with the rally school and everything else, it's just every part of our life now is rallying.
It's easy to say it was fast now, but I bet at the time it didn't feel quite so fast. So let's talk about the current company car then. Of course, 7 times Rally America champion. You're out there flying the flag for us with Craig Drew, and you guys have really made a splash out there, haven't you?
Yeah, no, it's been really good. Like Subaru is a huge brand in motorsport. The heritage is massive, and America is probably like the fan base for Subaru over there is huge. So there's a big following. When I first joined in 2011, I had no idea that Subaru was so big over there, and I had no idea that there'd be so much more on top of the rallying to do with the media and different appearances and everything else. And it's just gone from strength to strength each year. We've now, within the team now, we've got big backing from STI Direct, so there's a real close connection with Japan and our team in America. And our team in America is fantastic. They do the engines, the cars, absolutely the whole lot. And you walk in there and it's like walking back in ProDrive, years ago. So to be part of that is absolutely fantastic. The cars are great to drive, the events are great, and I'm really enjoying it out there still.
And there's every chance we can see that campaign continuing for many years to come, hopefully?
Yeah, obviously I'm just about to it's in that renewal, sign the contract, but I've got no intentions of driving for anyone else, and we're hoping to continue that, and we also do the Rallycross program as well, so that's something that's growing as a sport. And although we all love rallying as a thing, the Rallycross has a great place for rallying to bring it to the people in a much easier way. So I can see the future as well, having some more Rallycross in it as well as the rallying. So it's going to be busy times ahead, I think.
It does sound like it. Fantastic to see you flying the flag out there doing so well, and fantastic to see you here as well. Enjoy Rally Day.
I will, thank you.
That's what you get when you take rally drivers and rally cars out of their comfort zone and put them around a racetrack in Wiltshire. We've enjoyed Rally Day as always, so have the tens of thousands of fans who have turned up to show their support and get up close and personal with their favourite cars, drivers, teams. We'll have more content online, so make sure you stay updated on our social media channels. For now though, that's all we've got time for. Thank you for watching Special Stage.